you're going to first have to establish your personal LinkedIn account and your Twitter account. And the purpose of this is because you can actually post updates directly from within Saleslogix, so you don't have to launch Twitter or LinkedIn their client or their website. So this is basically linking. These aren't mine, these are demo accounts, but these accounts are now linked. I've logged in today as a username Lee Hogan. So Lee has a Twitter account, Lee has a LinkedIn account, and so forever, moving forward, he's authorized through the Saleslogix interface to post updates into those services. Do you have to do that? No, only if you're going to do updates. If you just want to look at stuff, you can skip this step, but we're going to go all in today. Now the first screen I will show you is over on the nav bar is called Social Buzz. And Social Buzz is basically a Twitter client. And again, why would you use this rather than your regular Twitter client? And again, it's because of the integration components that I'll show you that makes this really quite slick. So the opening tab here is just a wildcard Twitter search. You can see that I have some saved searches up here also. And for example, this one's just Saleslogix, and then we have hashtag Saleslogix, which is a top-level search. And so right from this screen, it scraped through Twitter and said, here's everything that I found related to Saleslogix. And some of the things you can do from here are you can actually create a new note, a new lead, a new opportunity, or schedule an activity against that particular update. And so if we create a new lead, in fact, let me pick on a different one here. Let me see if I can find somebody with a real name. Well, maybe not. So let's just click on that and say we're going to create a new lead. So what you'll notice will happen is it'll scrape the contents of that tweet, and it'll actually plug it into the comments area. So after I'm done inserting this, you notice it plugged in some of the information already, but obviously this is not a name. You can modify the name if you want, look for matching records. So it's going to create a history record and a new lead in this case against this new lead that we created through that hot button. So let's jump back over here and I'll show you some of the other things you can do. My system is a little slow today. I apologize if it's lagging behind on me. So we'll go back here to Saleslogix, and some of the other things we can do is we can retweet. So right from this little forward icon, I can stay logged in if you want, and then I can go ahead and add on and actually reply to this tweet, or I can rebroadcast this. The next icon over is going to retweet this to my followers, okay? And then finally, you can add it to your favorites. So this, if this is a favorite topic or tweet, you can add it to your Twitter favorites from this screen. Let's look at some of the other things we can do. So let's say I come in here and I say customer FX, and I want to go out and find all references to customer FX in Twitter, and that's what it's done. But the other thing it will do is it will save this search as a brand new tab for me. So once I've created a search, it will, in essence, be sticky and add a new tab up at the top for me. But if you just wanted to do that as a one-time thing, any of these you can click on the X and get rid of those searches if it was just something you did for the fun of it and don't really want to keep it up at the top. So another nice feature that they've built in here. So this is a built-in Twitter feed that is a replacement for your current one, but it has these built-in abilities to, again, create new activities and notes and link some of this data to your Saleslogix records. So now let's take a look at how this kind of flows over into accounts. So we've got Abbott Limited in here as an account. And one of the first things I wanted to do is create Abbott Limited's social profile. In this demo company, they do have a LinkedIn profile. And so I went ahead and added that in by clicking on the plus sign over on the right, and I searched for Abbott Limited, and it created this link. You can also click on this little gear and see if there are other profiles linked. So let's add another one here, Customer FX. Click OK. And so now Abbott Limited, Abbott Limited, it was not letting me do it because I'm not logged into LinkedIn here, but Abbott Limited would have as many different social profiles associated with him, and that's up to you, the user, to decide, well, which of these profiles is relevant to Abbott. It doesn't try to force us to do anything, so it lets you add as many as you want into that area. So now, the next tab I'll show you is the social updates. And so this is going to be a listing of all of their LinkedIn posts for this particular company. And because we've added Customer FX, you're going to see some Customer FX tweets sprinkled in here as well. Now, these are listed in chronological order. So whether it's a LinkedIn or a Twitter, as long as one of these two is added as a social profile for Abbott Limited, you're going to see them all rolled up onto this list. And just as you could in that social buzz area, I can actually retweet from here, getting tongue-tied on that one, or I can create a brand new activity, for example, because I may have noticed something in their LinkedIn that makes me say, you know, I should really call them and talk about their acquisition of a new business or whatever it is. So you'll notice that it put the actual tweet in the notes. It automatically filled in Bob and Abbott Limited as the account and contact for this particular scheduled phone call. So here's kind of how the integration component works. Now the next view I'll show you is what they call the timeline. It's the same information we saw in the social updates area, except it's presented now in what they call a mashup. So this is the sliding calendar. So as I grab the calendar and move left and right with my mouse, you can see the window of data that I'm going to see on the top part of the screen is moving. And I can actually see a yearly view. The more little blue tick boxes there are, the more chatter there was in that particular period of time. And so that's what it's doing, is it's presenting me with more and more information. So I can either move across the year-over-year one, or I can do the month-over-month one here by sliding that bar. Now also, if you click on any of these, you're going to see the actual tweet here that caused it to show up on the timeline. And just like I showed you earlier, right from here, you can create a new note, create a new lead from this, an opportunity, phone call, to-do, ticket, and a feature request actually creates a defect. Saleslogix uses the defect form not only to report bugs, but a lot of companies use it to track feature requests in their products and services too. But that's what feature requests would do, is create a new defect to be tracked against Abbott Limited.